Hold up. So, Candy Burrs and Todd Tucker already finalized their divorce before Remy Ma and Papoose even got close to wrapping theirs up? What exactly is going on here? What's really the takeaway from this whole situation? Or is it simply that Papoose never wanted the divorce in the first place? Alright, listen. Today we're diving into Claressa Shields, Papoose, and Remy Ma, with just a little side mention of Candy Burrs and Todd Tucker. But let's be real for a second. This story isn't really about Candy and Todd as much as it is about that old saying people love to repeat. If he wanted to, he would. You feel me? Because Candy filed for divorce from Todd, but from what's been reported, their separation actually happened back in July of last year. And since they already had a prenuptial agreement in place, the whole process moved pretty quickly. And now the divorce is officially finalized. Done. Finished. They're both legally single and free to move however they want. That means they can date whoever they want publicly without people screaming scandal. No backlash, no drama. Now, if you want to look at this from a sports world example, think about Gisele Bündchen and Tom Brady. They had kids together and still went through with the divorce. And look how fast life moved afterward. Gisele is already remarried and even welcomed another child, while Tom Brady is out here with a whole new girlfriend. See how that works? And speaking of celebrity examples, some of y'all probably remember Nicole Kidman, who used to be married to Tom Cruise, right? But later on, she spent years married to country singer Keith Urban. Well, guess what? When that marriage ended, the divorce process was handled and finalized. And meanwhile, she's still booked and busy with a new show that's blowing up on Amazon Prime. I think it's called Scarpetta or something like that. It's trending, it's buzzing. Now listen to this part carefully. Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban were together for nearly 19 years. 19. She reportedly filed for divorce toward the end of September after they had already publicly announced their separation earlier that same year. And not long after the filing, just a matter of months, the divorce was finalized in January. You see what I'm saying? This isn't rocket science. And they had plenty of shared assets too. Properties, investments, the whole situation, similar to what Remy Ma and Papoose have built together. From what's been reported, there wasn't some messy fight over alimony or child support either. They simply reached an agreement about custody and how they would divide time with the kids, and they moved forward like adults.
But here's where things start to look different. Because from everything we've heard publicly, most of the details are coming from Remy Ma's side. According to her, she already has legal representation. Her attorney reportedly contacted Papoose multiple times, suggesting a no-contest divorce, something quiet, something private, something that wouldn't drag their personal life into the headlines. And listen, she supposedly wasn't asking for anything. No money, no payout, no messy financial battle. All he had to do was sign the papers. Just sign the dotted line and keep it moving. But according to the story being told, Papoose didn't want to do that because Papoose doesn't want to be divorced from Remy. And even that moment last year when he dramatically waved around those crinkled divorce papers online, well, since then, there have been no updates. No court filings, no motions, no hearings, no custody schedules, nothing. And here's the part that really makes people raise their eyebrows. Remy has even spoken publicly as if they're still operating like a married couple. When TMZ asked her about it, she basically said that when she calls Papoose, he still answers. And when she needs him to step up for their daughter or handle things back in New York, he's still there doing exactly that. Listen to this. She said the moment she calls him, he's already on the first flight moving like clockwork. She basically explained that everything between them runs smoothly like a well-oiled machine because she's not the type to cause problems. Just don't push her the wrong way. But even with things operating that peacefully, there's one detail that makes the timeline look really strange. According to Remy, the last time they were actually moving like husband and wife, doing the grown-up married couple things, was back in 2022. Now hold up, because we also know Claressa Shields admitted during her Tamron Hall interview that she and Papoose had been talking in the DMs since 2020. That means this situation has been going on for 5, almost 6 years. And yet after all that time, Papoose still hasn't filed for a divorce from his wife. He still hasn't made himself legally single. He still hasn't fully let go. And honestly, it's starting to look like there might never be a divorce decree at all. Why? From Papoose's side of things, it doesn't seem like he wants the marriage to end. Now, I don't know if Remy Ma has changed her feelings since publicly calling him out, or if she now thinks the situation is different because Papoose allegedly has a little extra money flowing in from Claressa's side. Girl, who knows what Remy thinks about that part. But one thing that is clear, there has been zero visible progress in any divorce proceedings, and that's where the questions start getting louder. How is it that every other celebrity couple can file for divorce and usually wrap the process up within 6 months or so? The only time things drag out is when there are huge financial assets, businesses, multiple homes, or complicated custody arrangements involved. But here's the real point. When most couples are truly finished, like done, they finalize that divorce as quickly as possible so both people can move on freely. Some jump into new relationships. Some choose to stay single after going through that exhausting process. And honestly, both choices are valid. But the goal is closure. So the real mystery becomes this. What exactly is holding up Remy Ma and Papoose? From the outside looking in, it's giving the impression that Papoose simply doesn't want to divorce Remy. And that's exactly why people are confused watching Claressa Shields online, acting like the situation is normal. I mean, seriously, why keep defending it publicly if the man is still legally married? She's out here telling strangers that divorces can take a long time, saying he's just a married man going through the process. But at the same time, it almost sounds like Papoose might be giving her the best lip service imaginable. Because here's the thing people forget. Divorce filings are public record. In most states, if you know the county and look up the names under domestic relations cases, you can literally see the timeline, court dates, motions, hearings, all of it. That's how the system works. And eventually you see the final step, the official divorce decree. Now, sometimes the detailed documents stay sealed, but the record still shows that a case was opened and processed. You'll usually see entries for filing fees, court scheduling, and different requirements along the way. Sometimes there are parenting classes, co-parenting courses, custody schedules being negotiated, even therapy recommendations for the kids, because divorce can be a huge emotional adjustment. All of those steps usually appear in the records as the case moves forward. But in this situation, none of that progress seems to be showing up at all. Listen, every bit of that information shows up right there in the court docket. All of it sits in the paperwork for anyone who knows how to look. You can see who was served the divorce papers, whether there were issues locating the person, or if the process server couldn't properly deliver the documents because of an address problem. But let's be honest for a second. If Papoose truly wanted that divorce finalized, it would have been moving already. Especially after that moment when Pop claimed he filed papers himself, you would think the process would have started rolling forward immediately. Instead, nothing has really happened, and that's exactly why I keep saying this. He doesn't actually want the divorce.
Because think about it. Had Remy Ma not finally aired everything out publicly after people kept dragging her online over Easy the Block Captain, Papoose probably would have still been sitting comfortably on that same couch. I'm telling you right now, even if Remy privately wanted him gone, as long as the public didn't fully see how he was moving, he would have kept finding excuses to stay around. But once his image started shifting and people began asking, wait, this is how you're really acting? Suddenly he had to get his own place. Public pressure forced that move more than anything else. And here's another thing that makes the situation look strange. Claressa Shields keeps flexing online about the money, the luxury shopping, the Louis Vuitton, the Gucci, the Vans stores, all the designer labels. But let's keep it real. None of that impresses Papoose. He already experienced that lifestyle with Remy Ma for years. He's already lived the celebrity life. Claressa isn't introducing him to anything he hasn't seen before during the decades he spent with Remy. Remy already had Chanel bags. Remy already had stylists, glam teams, and the whole industry lifestyle. They were walking the BET Awards red carpets. They were sitting courtside at basketball games. They were on reality TV together. They were already established in the music industry. So from the outside looking in, the only real difference here is age, and the fact that Papoose might be playing the situation a lot smarter than people realize. Because think about this, when 50 Cent dropped those diss records, Pap didn't even acknowledge Claressa in any meaningful way. And hold up, that's interesting, because Claressa claimed the disses were connected to her. But when people actually listened to the track, the person being referenced was Remy Ma.
So once again, the question comes back to the same point. If someone truly wants to end a marriage, they make that divorce happen, period. But in this case, the divorce still hasn't happened, and it's been years now. Years, Claressa. You've been entangled with a married man this whole time, and there's still no divorce decree anywhere in sight, which means right now, Papoose is still legally married. And if you really want my opinion, it looks like he's just riding the wave. He's counting the days while the attention is still hot and the opportunities are still coming in. Whether that's the Zeus Network situation, the buzz around Claressa's career, or the remaining terms of that reported $8 million contract, he's enjoying the moment. But the moment that the spotlight fades or the money slows down, he'll probably move on to the next opportunity. Meanwhile, Remy Ma is over there building something long-term. business moves, legacy moves, generational wealth moves. And then on the other side, you've got money being blown on luxury stores and designer bags. And honestly, that's where the real question comes in. Make it make sense. But anyway, y'all already know how we do over here. Go ahead and hype the video up, drop your thoughts down in the comments because I definitely want to hear what you think about this whole situation. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you hit that notification bell so you're alerted the second new content drops on the channel. And with that said, I'll catch you in the next one.